So I VOD reviewed every single team in the MCC Rising event, and I will rate them on a tier list based off two factors: skill and teamwork. Before I get into it though, I just want to clarify that this is strictly my opinion, and my intention is not to offend anyone. I've even spoken to some of the people here, and they are really nice people. I'll also leave timestamps below if you want to see what I have to say about a particular team. Anyways, let's get into it. So starting off with the F tier, and you know what? I'd say no one is F tier or even E tier. So moving on to the D tier, we are going to put Purple Pandas. They came 9th overall, but to be honest, I do feel like they were the worst as a team. They're not the best at movement-based games or PvP, and their comms were lacking. There were hardly any good calls being made, except for the plans they made prior to each game. So for example, when Billmar began, Spoink and Mintsleaves did not do anything for quite a while. And let me actually show you guys a clip.
I'm so confused. Should I get sand for this one, or just wait for you guys to come back?
Just wait, let's do that.
Okay. So we're doing those two?
I'm going to get flowers, baby.
Yellow concrete, another wart blocks, and smooth sandstone.
That's the person who submitted the build, by the way.
Yeah, they should have helped their teammate collect resources instead of just like standing around. They played really slow on team-based games such as Grid Runners, but looking at the VOD, they were clearly just playing it for fun. There's nothing wrong with that, but for the sake of this tier list, it's a D tier, I'm afraid. I do want to give props to Buggy though. He actually was really good. He came 12th in Ace Race, and he gave most of the good callouts on the team. Anyway, staying on the D tier, we are going to put the yellow Yaks. They came last in the event, but I do believe it's because most of the games that were played were skill based, and their team were the least skilled in the event, but their teamwork is actually really good. They were very organized on survival games, which made me really impressed, but the reason they didn't place well was because they lacked the PvP, unfortunately. And same with Billmar, they were very organized. I mean, there were some confusing moments, for example when Bruno crafted furnaces when there were already furnaces, but the reason why they didn't get a lot of points was because they were all too slow. If they had trained properly, I am telling you, they would have been a top 5 team easily. It's just that their skill does drag them down a lot. I mean, you can have the best calls, but if you aren't great at a particular game, then those calls will be pretty much useless. But I think that's it for the D tier. So moving on to the C tier, we are going to put the Aqua Axolotls. They actually came 5th in the whole event, so you might be surprised at why I'm putting them so low. Similarly to the yellow Yaks, they have decent callouts, but the one problem I have is that they tend to scream over each other sometimes. They're definitely more skilled, but they're still not amazing at PvP or movement games. They definitely do acknowledge their lack in skill, and we can even see an example of this in survival games, because they are sticking together pretty much the whole time, and their target was to stay alive for as long as possible and not going for any risky plays. One huge mistake that I have seen from DarkEyebrows POV was on Sands of Time. Let me actually open the clip real quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. For context, they were really low on sand, and DarkEyebrows walks past potentially a lot of sand, and this was still relatively early in their game. Right here, I don't know if you can see it, but there's sand right there, and as you can see, they're on 1,053 coins, and they're pretty much stuck for time. They have no time left, and they need to exit. But yeah, there's sand right there. But moving on to the next team, I think I'm going to put the green Geckos here as well. One thing that I do like about this team is how supportive they were of each other, and that they know the importance of communication. They're definitely better than the Aqua Axolotls, so I'm actually gonna just move them up in front. One play that I really liked was how his team helped HighkeyHateMe when he was getting targeted by Jojo in survival games.
Trying to get some sneaky looks, see if there's any arrows and stuff.
Okay, Boosfer's team's down.
Okay, nice!
The team is...
Oh, hit! Jojo's here.
Engage.
I need to come back. I'm gapping.
Yeah, this is really good. This team did really well to help him. I do feel like they played just a little too passive overall. And one thing as well that I really dislike was how much Max screamed, especially on Parkour Warrior. But yeah, that's it for this team. Decent in communication, but they do need to improve their mechanics a little more. Another team that is on the C tier has to be Llamas. And I'm actually gonna put them in front of Green Geckos. They came 7th overall, but these guys have probably been the unluckiest team in the event. A player that has absolutely impressed me though was Laqqy, very underrated in my opinion. But yeah, they made a lot of mistakes on Ace Race, but do keep in mind this is the first time for everyone and they're going to be nervous. In games like Bill Mart, they were very cooperative and very rational with one another despite being slow. But in games like survival games, there were bad calls being made and communication was slightly all over the place. And on Sands of Time, there was a part where Mako was doing a puzzle and Laqqy told him to move on from it, but he didn't listen, and that did cost the team a decent amount of coins. Laqqy did seem very upset after the loss because I can tell he is a very competitive player. But in case he is watching this somehow, don't beat yourself over it. You are an extremely skilled player, and if you had another shot at this, you would easily be top 5 in the solo leaderboards, easily. And the last team in C tier are the Red Rabbits. They came 8th overall in the event, but to be honest, I think they are better than the Aqua Axolotls. Skill-wise, they aren't as good as them, but their communication and teamwork is actually decent despite some of the mistakes. Nika Colas was a very good leader throughout the event, and on Copy the Sculpture, she explained the sculpture pretty much perfectly on Grid Runners.
It's the same one as the one that we watched in the middle, smack dab in the middle.
Yep.
Blue concrete.
Got blue
Put
concrete.
another blue.
Wait,
blue,
smack dab in the
whatever it is.
blue concrete.
Cool.
Okay, give me
Blue,
everything. Give
whatever
me
it is.
everything. Give
Now,
me everything.
Now go up one blue.
Hold on. Okay, go up one blue.
So two blue high in the middle.
Yep,
Then
got it.
towards red on the second level.
Red. Sorry. 1 second.
So like make like an L shape towards red, but on the second level, like the second.
Yeah,
level.
see,
just
this
one
is
block,
really good.
Going towards red.
One block forward, yeah.
Okay.
Now
okay.
on that
Didn't know I could see
second
through
blue block towards green, place 1 iron.
Okay.
Okay, done.
Okay, now on the first block, the double block at the very top, second layer again, 1 back, so 1 towards yellow.
1 towards yellow on blue or red?
Perfect.
Yellow. Blue or iron?
Blue. It's on blue.
We're
It's iron,
using
sorry,
blue.
it's
Okay,
iron,
yeah.
iron, iron. Now on the bottom floor, like go
Good,
right
good.
beside to the left of the main pillar on the flat bottom, iron.
Well,
Towards blue.
where? Which color?
Okay.
Between
So
blue and the pillar.
smack dab, 1 over towards blue,
the floor.
iron.
Like, it literally cannot get better than this.
Hey.
Another moment that really did impress me were the callouts made for King of Archers on Hole in the Wall. I've not seen a team make such good callouts from like a spectator's point of view. Like, just watch this.
North.
Yeah.
King, you're still in there. You're still in this.
Okay, noted,
Good job.
noted.
Oh yeah, look at King.
Fine.
North again.
It's all you.
Easy, King.
Where is it?
Easy,
Okay.
easy.
I got it.
Easy.
Hey.
Crack,
Good
crack.
stuff.
She's a crack. It's south.
Yeah,
Go
got
mid.
it.
South again. Far right. Good job.
South
You're
again.
gonna have to do a stair jump.
Hey.
Easy,
Yeah,
go.
I got it.
You're cracked. Let's go, King.
East
You're
again,
cracked.
east again.
I got
East
it.
again.
God, crap.
It's gonna be, what is
Your
that,
left,
north?
North.
And
East,
east.
Yep.
East again.
Okay, east again, middle.
No. So close. We did
Like
so good
that?
though.
Props to like teammates. They did really well to call out like the walls. Like, that was really good. But unfortunately, in some of the games they were slow, which is why they are at C tier. So moving on to the B tier, we are going to put the orange Ocelots. This team definitely had the best teamwork in the whole event. Like, they are super relaxed and they are pretty skilled too. Owen got first in Ace Race, which is very impressive. But you're probably wondering, why are they only at B tier and not higher up? I do feel like there is a big skill gap between each of them, and the communication on Sands of Time was not as good as I thought it was going to be, unfortunately. I don't have any particular clip to play, but yeah, they came 4th overall, which is around what I expected. But yeah, we're moving up onto the A tier, and now it starts to get interesting. So I'm going to put the Blue Bats in A tier. And I am telling you, this team, criminally underrated. This team didn't start off too well, felt slightly chaotic, but as they got more into it, they became a lot more comfortable. And when they were pessimistic, they encouraged one another. Like, this team's communication is on a different level. Yes, they might not have been as good as Orange Ocelots, but trust me, it was He was probably my favorite out of all of them. On Build Mart, they do talk over each other sometimes, but Mike tells everyone to relax and they do end up doing really well. This team does consist mainly of builders, but they are still very skilled in other aspects of the game. This team's Sands of Time was, in my opinion, one of the best from the whole event when it comes to communication and teamwork. Like, I highly recommend you guys watch their VOD. It's really good. So the next team that goes on to the A tier, controversial opinion, Cyan Coyotes. Without a doubt, these guys are the most skilled team in the whole event, like by far. These guys completely dominated on survival games, and I'm pretty sure they even set a record for the most amount of kills. But to be completely honest, the communication wasn't up to standard. In games like Build Mart and Sands of Time, they weren't as good as they should have been. Yes, they came first overall by a long mile, but I do feel like teamwork is still as important as skill. And the fact that most games that got played were skill-based really helped them in their favor. Again, I don't really have a particular clip to play, but yeah, A tier. And finally, in the S tier, we have the Pink Parrots. You're probably not surprised at all. I mean, this team complement each other perfectly in both teamwork and skill. Although there were some mistakes in callouts at some points, they still did very well, especially because of how fast-paced they actually play. Their Build Mart was really good, their survival games was really good as well, and their Grid Runners was almost perfect. And that's all for this tier list. There were a lot of small details that I didn't really go through just because they were so small it was not even worth talking about. But if anyone that played in the event want a full detailed report of my VOD review, you can message me on my socials, which I'll leave in the description. This video did take a whole week to make, so a like and a sub does help me out a lot. I'll also leave in the description the socials of everyone that participated. Do check them out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.